starts off in Samburu County, where motorists in Samburu are facing a major challenge accessing neighbouring areas following a heavy downpour that has rendered roads impassable in the area. The Nyahururu Maralal Road, which is currently being updated to tarmac, has become impassable due to various muddy stretches that have seen traders and travellers spend long hours on what would ordinarily be a short journey on a hot stretch of a road.
Rai kutengenezewa barabara lakini diversion hatuna. Mimi gari yangu imekwama pale chini, iko na siku 4 haijatoka hapo. Sasa ninaomba serikali iingilie kati kujua ni nini inaendelea hapa, kwa sababu hata huyu mchaina hakuji kutusaidia.
Mimi nasema hii China umekuja kutusaidia, lakini hakuna kitu wanatusaidia. Tumekoma zaidi tangu tutoke Nyahururu, tumekuja hapa tumekona taabu sana, hata tujui kesho tutaendaje.
Yetu ya kutoka Nyahururu kuja Maralal ilikuwa mzuri, lakini wakati huu sasa kuna contractor ameingia. Sasa ameweka diversion karibu na Maralal hapa, imetuletea shida. Kwa sababu alitengeneza diversion bila maram. Na ndio sababu tumekwama. Nilitoka Nyahururu asubuhi na mpaka saa hii sijafikia Maralal.
Well, 4 days and counting. That, of course, is the count put out there by that gentleman who has been stuck there for several days now. Hundreds of residents from Mwiki and Kasarani here in Nairobi have been forced to walk to work earlier today after public service vehicle operators withdrew their services. The PSV operators are protesting the poor state of the Mwiki-Kasarani road, which they say has been rendered impassable. They want the relevant authorities to intervene and ensure that it is repaired and fast. Well, one more story of rain and pain now, where residents of parts of Kitengela in Nairobi are having to contend with large amounts of stagnant and dirty rainwater mixed with effluent following heavy rains around the town. Now, Kitengela usually has poor drainage and a poor sewage network, meaning that any water resulting from rains forms pools that last sometimes 4 months.
Watu wote wamefuga hata maduka, hata ukiangalia workshop yangu ndio hii. Sasa hata hakuna kazi tunaweza fanya hapa. Watu wa motorbike wamehama. Sasa hapa hakuna kupitika. Na ni tangu kwa serikali ile nyingine ilikuwa kitambo. Hii shimo imetusumbua kwa miaka mingi sana. Kwa ile serikali nyingine ilikuwa hapo. Sasa sisi tunaomba tu mheshimiwa wetu mkubwa, gavana wetu, akuje angalie, atuambie hii maneno vile itakuwa. Juu hii barabara ndio Mombasa Road old na ndio kitambo. Sasa hii inafaa kuwa tuangalie juu biashara haifanyiki, hata hiendelei.
Huko hata barabara ipitiki. Nyumba huko hata zimejaa maji, hata tuko na wasiwasi sana. Tunaona kwamba tunaweza shikwa na kipindupindu. Kwa hiyo tuko na shida sana, jiri hata mapikipiki zinagonga watu sana huko zikijaribu kuhepa barabara. Sasa tunaomba serikali itusaidie, jiri sasa tuko na shida sana.
Maeneo yote ambapo wananchi wanaishi ni mbaya sana. Na tunaweka mikakati na sheria kali. Ukipatikana ukifungulia sewage, wewe mwenyewe utaingia ndani na hakuna kusema kusamehewa, uende kotini ukaweza kuenda kujibu mashtaka. Kwa sababu hiyo kufungulia sewage ni watu wanakosa kupeleka sewage mali inatakikana, wanakuja kuharibu kitu. Na jambo la pili, environment yetu kupitia kwa CS Tobiko. Haya maneno tumeshamfikishia. Na hivi karibuni mambo itakuja kuwa mzuri.
Well, that of course is the pain from various parts of the country because of the rains that are currently pounding various areas here in Kenya. Now, new methodologies such as set up policies and changing the building code will foresee affordable housing for the Kenyan market. The cost of construction has been increasingly high, thus calling for standardization of building materials, which equally will promote youth employment. Now, these are not my words. These are the words that came out of an earlier event today brought together by the CBA Bank with a view towards, well, debating what exactly can be done to help speed up the actualization of the Big Four, according to the Jubilee government.
We have to close that deficit, that housing deficit. But the next question is, how do we close that? It can ignite a very huge construction boom. The last time when we started the construction boom, you remember where it came from? It came from, in 1976-77, coffee boom. All of a sudden, terms of trade changed, and everybody started investing in urban housing. And that is where the construction boom started. Everybody thought the housing market, there's a bubble. And I remember I used to defend myself at Central Bank saying, there's no bubble in the housing market. It is actually a scarcity problem. And you can see those numbers.
We've often struggled with growing the manufacturing sector. It's stayed around 10% of the economy for a very long time. Even as the economy grows and output increases, the manufacturing component has remained stagnant at about 10%. And the challenge, of course, is that when you don't have a very growing and expanding industrial sector, then especially for an economy like us, which has very many young people unemployed, then you don't have the spaces for engaging them and increasing in job production.
Well, of course, we eventually hope to see more action and less talk with actualization of the Big Four, hopefully, that more Kenyans like we ourselves may get access to decent quality housing. Now, finally, to a story from Kilifi County, where locals have started to reap big from their flora and fauna. Our reporter Julie Otieno has been on that beat and now takes a look at a story about evaluation of the moringa tree and associated products. Take a look.
For ages, the moringa tree has been in existence in Kilifi County and the country at large. The tree is part of life for many who literally see nothing really special about it. But this is now starting to change. Foreign investment is now playing a transformative role.
The room that you see here and everything in it has actually been constructed by ourselves, by local people, by people who live no more than a few miles away from us. In that way, we are able to provide local jobs, we're able to use local materials, and we're able to support the local economy without simply extracting from the local economy and then doing the work, the value-added work somewhere else. We're doing it right here.
Papu Harun initiated the project back in 2014 after the near collapse of the tourism industry. Initially, he had a beach resort at Uyombo area, which failed as a result of matters like security. The business has since then been of great impact to its local residents and even to him, as he exports moringa oil to the United States and other parts of the world in Europe.
One of our biggest challenges is in fact the supply of moringa seeds. As much as we support 300 farms here and we buy as much as we can from Kilifi County, we buy from all over Kenya, it's still not enough. As I told you, just one of our customers requires something like 75,000 kilos of seeds to meet their order. So it's really not enough. And so we have had to turn outside Kenya. We are now buying from the whole region. We're buying from Uganda. We're buying from Tanzania. We're buying Rwanda, Burundi, Malawi. And now we're looking at Mozambique.
At the beginning, women, widows, people with disabilities, people living with HIV and AIDS were the cheerleaders of planting the moringa tree in order to enable the company source the product directly from locals. To enhance production, Harun organized all the farmers into groups in which they could sharpen their skills before starting up individual farms at homes. He further brought agricultural experts who ensured proper education of the stages involved in managing moringa plant, at the Matsangoni Health Center. One of the members, Lois Sidikorisa, said she ventured into moringa plant after being supported by PAPU.
Shamba letu tulilianza 2017. Hapa tuliposimama ni shamba la hii ni Nasar Group ni Nasar Bed ambapo kuna wakulima wengine ambao shamba zao hazina moringa. So hapa tunauza hii moringa yetu kwa wale ambao hawana moringa. Tangu ninge kwa hiki kikundi, moringa ulitusaidia kwa mambo mengi. Kwanza, tunatumia kama mboga nyumbani kwetu. Pili, tukitunda mbegu za moringa tukiuza, tunapata pesa za kutusaidia hata na watoto wetu kusoma na mambo mengineyo. Nasaidia mwili. Kwa mfano, mtoto akiwa uko na mashilingi, moringa ni dawa na pressure pia yasaidia.
The project has been in existence for 4 years now, and farmers are now able to harvest both the seeds and the leaves, which are now in high demand at the Kilifi Moringa estates.
Wengi wetu ambao tuko hapa, wengi hawana mabwana. Mabwana wao walipita. Wengine wana waume, lakini sasa kwenye wale ambao wamama mabwana wao walipita, inatusaidia kiuchumi hata nyumbani.
A resident of Matsangoni, Abdallah Kazungu Kombe, says the farmers now sell the leaves at 35 Kenya shillings per kilogram, while the seeds are sold at 250 shillings per kilogram. One lady who says she is HIV positive started her own farm and earns income through selling products to the company. On a good week, farmers can sell up leaves worth 20,000 shillings as seeds generate at least 40,000 shillings.
Hii ni miche hii. Hii nimeing'oa asubuhi. Basi mimi wanaipanda hapo kwangu. Wakati wa mvua kama hivi, wanaipanda mingi sana. Wakati wa dry season, huwa wamama wanakuja tofauti ambapo unahesabu vile vimti. Yaani ukitunda kijani kama hichi kimoja, kama 13, shilingi 10, unatia kwa siku huwezi kosa 300 ama 400. Hapo kwangu binafsi mimi mwenyewe.
It is important to note that for every kilo or liter of oil that we produce, we use up to 5 or even 6 kilos of seeds, normally between 4 and 5. But depending on the quality, we can use up to 6 kilos of seeds, which means that we're not simply buying for each kilo of oil or liter of oil that we're buying 1 kilo of seeds from the farmer, but for each kilo of seeds, we buy between 5 and 6 kilos of seeds from the farmer, which is great for the farmer, which means that they are able to sell a lot more seeds than we are providing oil or supplying oil. And for instance, right now we're working at this moment on a project to supply 15 tons of oil to the export market, to an American customer.
Usually the seeds are collected from farmers and taken to an oil pressing machine, which is in a remote village in Kilifi County. The operation of the machine in this area provides locals with jobs and also improve their economy. Once the seeds are sorted, they are taken through a cage crew where oil is squeezed and flows to a collection point. It then settles at its later filtered and packaged into containers for shipping. Each liter and kilogram produced depends on its quality. The high demand of moringa plant has, however, made it almost possible for the local farmers to have enough produce, thus forcing them to source the seeds from all over East and Central Africa. Moringa oil has this day become a major requirement in the cosmetic industry. The project is seen to connect the poorest women worldwide and helps them reach out to wealthy women who use this product. The chief pioneer hopes to have attracted over 1,000 farmers in the country by the year 2022. Moringa oil is edible. One can use it for cooking or making salad, but it is very expensive.
One of our biggest challenges is in fact the supply of moringa seeds. As much as we support 300 farms here and we buy as much as we can from Kilifi County, we buy from all over Kenya, it's still not enough. As I told you, just one of our customers requires something like 75,000 kilos of seeds to meet their order. So it's really not enough. And so we have had to turn outside Kenya. We are now buying from the whole region. We're buying from Uganda. We're buying from Tanzania. We're buying Rwanda, Burundi, Malawi. And now we're looking at Mozambique, which means that our project here in Kilifi County is not just supporting the local people around us. It's not just supporting the farmers of Kilifi or Kenya even. We are, in fact, a regional business whose product is exported to the global market. We are what we believe to be a, you might say, ideal African business. We have a total of 22 permanent staff working for us at this plant. We hire many more, up to about 35 or 40 women mostly, when it comes to seasonal work, especially when we get a lot of seeds and those need to be processed. Our head count can go up to 40 to 45 people. But that's a drop in the ocean compared to the number of people that we support on the farms. Our average farmer is a woman of childbearing age. She normally has up to 7 dependents, most of them women, most of them children themselves. And she is normally a woman of about in her 30s or early 40s who is struggling. Her husband in most cases is away because either he is looking for a job or he has had to go find a job or have a job somewhere far away. So they tend to be single mothers. They tend to be the sole earners for the family. We have something like 328 of those farms that we are directly supporting and that we have signed up onto our project. And we are hoping to reach about 1,000 of those women by 2020. We're hoping, frankly, that we could do a lot more. But right now, that's what we can reach.
1 litre of moringa oil is sold at 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Julie Owino,